Hello, thank you for watching this YouTube video. This is Namtro with Namtro Gaming, and today we're going to be going over procurement and how to make it work for you. I already have one procurement video, but this will be a update on procurement and what you can do to make it super useful for you. They made a lot of changes to it, and I feel like this video is very well warranted. So, in preparation for the new leagues coming out, I'm not even sure what they're called, but on the 12th, I want to get some information out, and this is one of the things. Alright, so where to start? You're going to want to go and you're going to want to Google procurement. You know, it's going to give you what it means and stuff, whatever. And for me, it was the third choice. Procurement, Google code.google.com/p procurement. Click on that. It should bring you to this, and this is kind of like their page. And you know, if you want to support them, if you want to go through like a couple other tutorials besides mine, you know, look down, look through stuff, this would all help you. And then also, if you have questions and stuff, there's this right here, the issues button. The issues will have generally a bunch of different things that you can sort through, and if you have an issue yourself, it might actually be helpful to look through here. And there should be a wiki too, which will also give you frequently asked questions. There's all kinds of useful stuff here if you want to get this to work, besides, you know, if the stuff doesn't work for you. So you're going to want to click download now. Once you click that, it'll bring you to this page. This is a GitHub. What GitHub is basically an open source, or not really, it's where people usually host their open source stuff. So somebody who is nice enough to decide to make this application pretty much decided that he was going to make it relatively, you know, cheap for everyone, like basically free for everyone. The only thing he asks is, you know, if you really like the application and you plan on using it a lot, give him a little bit of, like, give him a $5 bill, like, give him a beer or something, you know, because I don't know, for me at least, I use this thing all the time. So I mean, it's up to you. If you don't want to do it, it's free. That's why it's open source. The other thing too is, if you want to contribute to this, it is also an option. All you have to do is hit the source code, blah blah blah. Basically, the source code will be all the code, and then if you know how to program or you know how to add to it, you mess with it there, and then you're going to push it back to his area, and then he's going to look at it and be like, oh, okay, this is what you did, this is relatively useful, I'm going to put this in the public release. And that's pretty much how easy it is. So I mean, if that interests you, have at her. Otherwise, you can either do the exe or the zip. I just did the exe. Once you do the exe, you just click here, launch it, run it, choose where you're going to install it, and then after that's all done, you'll have this. And this will come up, and what procurement does is it uses your information to log in to Path of Exile. So all you have to do is, for me at least, you know, just type in my Path of Exile login, and that's all you have to do. And then you use session ID, and that's for if you're going to do Steam. I'm not entirely sure how that all works because I never actually had to do it. But, you know, your alias, so I'm guessing this is your Steam alias. And then your session ID, I believe you actually get this from the Path of Exile website. So I'm not entirely sure how that all works, but I'll let you try to figure that out. But I'm sure if you went through the FAQ, the frequently asked questions, or the other issues, all of that will be opened up to you. So we're going to log in here real quick. And while that's logging in, basically it's going to go through every tab you've ever had. So if you're using standard, if you're using beyond, if you're using hardcore, it's going to go through all of that. Which, you know, that's fine. What I would recommend you do is, you know, wherever you installed it, there's a settings tab. All you have to do with the settings tab is you right click it, push properties, or right click it and edit it. Sorry, I don't have Notepad++ yet on this computer, but that's like the next thing I need to get. So with the settings, you're gonna have a lot of options, a lot of things you can edit. You can edit the prices. So for instance, a mirror on this is saying 1 mirror equals 450 chaos. So if that value is off for you, you can edit all these, and then when you have currency in your stash tab, you can get a general idea of what you have between all your currency that equals how many chaos you have. Which, if that's useful for you, have at it. Edit all these numbers whenever you feel like changing all of them, so you have something that's kind of relatively accurate for the leagues to come. And then as things change, you can do that. You can edit the popular gems. So these are the popular gems. So if you know any other gems besides the gems that are in here, you can always edit this. So if you think that there's something else popular and you want this to show up, this is basically the form template. So if you want to edit this a little bit, you can. Alright. So the next thing, so this is my password. They basically encrypted my password by a lot. Holy crap. That encryption though. Alright. And this is my email account, right? Session ID is equals false. We didn't have that checked. Okay, now you can put your favorite league. For me it was Beyond, right? We don't know what the new leagues are going to be, so I'm going to leave this blank. So this is going to be whatever league you're playing. So the league you are playing, right? And then this right here is going to be your character name. Don't type these out. So if you're playing standard, instead of league you are playing, you want to put standard. For your character name, you want to put whatever your character's name is. For me, Namtro, right? Download my league only. So if you set this to true, that means this would only download your standard league. It's not going to go through all your other leagues. So that means your shop will load faster because it doesn't have to go through all the equipment of all the other leagues. And all this other stuff, if you want to mess with this, you can figure all that out. Only display buyouts. I usually put this to true because I don't work with current offers. That's not my life. Alright, so proxy settings. This right here is for if you decide to log in through the forums to post your stuff. So this is, I would put ordish@hotmail.com. I'd put my password here. I'm not going to type that right now. My domain, so this is like US, right? So this is so it can log in real quick. Then the shop settings, so in order for me to bump the thread, so this is how I'm going to log in through the forum. Make sure to type your password in here, so password here. You want to put your password here. And then this right here, I usually end up just deleting the ones I'm not going to be playing. You're more than welcome to keep them, but if I'm not playing those leagues, that's how I do that. I'm probably going to install a new procurement when the leagues start, just because then this will all be updated, and plus a new procurement's going to be out then anyways. So usually what I do whenever a league starts, I'm just going to download a whole new version of procurement, and usually by that time they're going to have an updated procurement, because that's how they work. Alright. And then, yeah, that's all you have to do. Hit save, and then we'll close out of this. And there we are. We're in procurement. Just to give you an idea, though, so because I edited those files, now we log in, and we should only see just the standard tabs. We shouldn't see the other tabs at all. It won't go through our hardcore. So if you have a lot of tabs too, it takes it a while for it to go through everything. So that's why usually I leave out my standard tabs, because I have a lot of stuff on standard. So it's going to take Path a long time to load up procurement because of that for me. So that's why I have all those settings set, so I don't have to wait for this. Because when you have a new tab, new league going, and you have a lot of tabs like this, the more tabs you have too, the longer it's going to take, and it can also crash. So that's why usually I focus on it just loading the stuff that I need. So it's very important to do that, because as you can see, we just loaded all kinds of crap. And we're going to hit another pause here. Okay, see, in that time, it only loaded my standard tabs. So here's all my standard tabs. It even loaded my characters. So you can actually choose to not load your characters. I don't know why it loaded my characters like that, but you know, it's whatever. And then another nice thing too is once all that's done, so that it has all my gear and stuff. Now if I want to, I could look for like spectral throws. So if I wanted to find spectral throws, all these pages have spectral throws on them, and it highlights it in a yellow box. Okay, let's say instead I want to find like a name. So let's find Armageddon, or I don't know, Twist. No, Twirl. There you go. So now it's going to highlight every name that has Twirl on it. So I have a Amethyst that's called Blood Twirl. I have a Chimeric Twirl, and then I'll have a Tempest Twirl. So that means if somebody is coming to trade you, they're like, oh, I want Tempest Twirl. Could you find Tempest Twirl for me? So we'll just type in Tempest Twirl, and then it will highlight the only ring that's called Tempest Twirl, which is very useful. Then the next thing you could do too is you can also price things. So if you have a bunch of items to price, let's find a random tab. Okay, so if you have this and you want to price it, you're like, okay, it has 91 life, 35 resistances, it's okay. Maybe this is the beginning of the league and this is an item that you're trying to trade. Okay, so this is probably worth about 1 chaos. We'll leave it at that. Let's say this item was, you know, super great and somebody really wanted it. Well, you can hit the buyout again, and now you can choose different orbs. You can price it out however you want. This one's amazing, so I'm just gonna make somebody pay 10 exalteds for it, and then it's gonna save that price and it'll be there. So and that's relatively nice, because after all that's done, you're going to have this trading option. And what this trading thing is it's basically a form template, so you don't have to like use the form anymore to trade your gear, and it cuts out actually tons of time with trading just by doing this form template, and it's very, very nice. And then all you have to do to include that is you just go to your trade, like click the tabs that you want to include. Now the trade is going to include every item in there, which, you know, is okay. And then it's going to break the trade into a bunch of different columns. So like there'll be a dual resist tab, which is nice. And you know, the reason why there's so many different columns for all this stuff is it's trying to make it as granular as possible for people to search through your stuff. So if they're looking for something specific, so if they're looking for dual resist gear, they're going to be like, oh, there's this nice tab for dual resist gear. So they'll click the tab, it'll show a lockdown, then it's going to show all the dual resist gear. Oh, I'm looking for increased rarity and quantity gear. Let's look at that stuff. So then you're going to click on that, and it's going to go through all that. Or maybe you're just looking for a specific piece. So there's going to be another tab called Armor, Weapons and Armor, and then another tab called Armor, and then another tab for Chest Armor. And oh, look at that, there's that chest that we wanted. So, and that's why I really like it, because it breaks it down into a very granular list, making it easier for people to look through your form trades. So there's still people who do that besides using PoE XYZ or PoE trade now, and But the other nice thing is all this works with the POE.trade as well. So all these buyouts are formatted for POE.trade, so that means if people are looking through the trade area, they'll also find you on there. So which is nice. And then there's the trade settings. And the trade settings are basically where you can update your thread over and over again. And like I said, through that settings area, that's where you have to put in your information for your forum, so it can actually log in through your forum and actually do things on the forum. This is where you're going to put your forum ID. The forum ID is the numbers at the end of your forum, so it'll be slash and then numbers. So all you have to do is put your numbers in here, and then your forum title, so whatever you want it to be named as, and then you're going to just push save trade settings, and then after that's all done, then whenever you want to, you can update your forum thread or bump your forum thread, which is very, very nice. And then when all that's done, you can export your form template. So if you want to like make a new form template, so let's say you didn't like all those different things on the side, you can get rid of a lot of these if you wanted to. Like if you didn't like all the way the granular sections of all those templates, then you can edit and make your own template. But you know, that's for something else. I don't really mess with that because I like how granular it is and how easy it is for somebody to go through your stash at that point. And anyways, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it helps you. Hopefully it makes things a little bit more simpler. It is a little longer video, but you know, I go in depth through everything. So thank you for watching, and hopefully this helped you out.